right, man. Let's talk. So somebody in the comment section, I'll try to go find the comment and put it on the screen, made a good point. They said that the Pistons should go out and get Bam Adebayo. Now, apparently, he signed a 3-year extension for 3 years, 160. I think the first year is estimated, though. So, I mean, that's what the thing says. Estimated. 1 year was like 40 something, and it got to the 50s. And they said, why they don't get Bam Adebayo? I think that'll be a great pickup for them. The question would be, what direction the Miami Heat want to go? I believe the Miami Heat have a couple high picks in the draft. I can be wrong, but let me see. But check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. So like I said before, I think that's a good pickup. 3 years, 160. I think I would do it. Bam, Cade, and if you can still find a way to get a wing, it's better than handing Durham 200 and something million. But I think Duran also, to be respectful, I think Duran hurt. But you got Miami they got 13. I know they had a couple picks, they said. I guess they only got one. I'm looking here right now. They had 13. That's all I see. So I don't know. So, personally, if I would look into doing that, and then, if I can swing that, I don't know what they would want. If I can swing that, then I would just have to find a wing. But it do look like Utah is going to be moving on from Lauri Markkanen, and Walker Kessler. I think they're going to go with Jaren Jackson Jr. I think they're going to find a way to get AJ DeBasta. Now, the question is, if they can move up one spot with Washington, I don't think Washington is going to want, I don't think it's going to take Lauri Markkanen. So I think for the most part, they're going to take AJ DeBasta, Jaren Jackson Jr., Ace Bailey, and they move on. I mean, Walker Kessler, restricted free agent. He'll probably move on from that. And you got a chance to get Lauri Markkanen. Now, I don't know if you could swing Lauri Markkanen, Bam Adebayo, and, make that work. But in general, I think the belief is you most likely probably need a Lauri Markkanen. But I think Bam would be good. I mean, defensively, offensively, he's straight, really good. I mean, he's going to defend the paint, give you a little bit more perimeter game. I mean, the switches is nice. You still, possibly still probably will keep Beef still in that scenario. B-ball Paul. I mean, I don't know if they could swing Lauri and they could swing, George, but I think you may see Malik Beasley come back, his unofficial suspension. That's what I believe it is. This dude I work with is definitely a dope fiend, bro. Like, I know a lot of dope fiends in my life being in the hood, dog. People that always fidget and move is usually fiends. This nigga's a fiend, bro. A fiend for sure. But, like, always got to be moving. But, yeah, I don't know. But I think you might get Beasley back next year. That might be a big if, but I think his unofficial suspension will be over. I think you get him back. You could bring him off the bench. I think you keep Duncan Robinson. And I think, like, scenario like this, let's say somehow you can get Markkanen, Bam, and, you keep I think at that point, you start to look at a guy like Beasley, Malik Monk. You start to look at guys like that, Bojanovic from the LA Clippers. You start to look like guys that can kind of be that, Jamal Crawford off your bench, Lou Williams off your bench. That's what you're looking for to go with Jenkins, or, you look to bring a Clay off your bench, a Clay, Jenkins. But I think you really want Beasley back in that fold, coming off your bench. But if you can't get Beasley, you probably look at more like Malik Monk, Dennis Jenkins. You probably going to give up Ron in one of those trades. That's just it. Duran might be a sign and trade in that situation, which I'm not saying they should get rid of Duran. But Lauri, Bam, K, Asar, and you probably keep Duncan in that starting lineup for now. Jenkins, Beasley, or Malik Monk, You probably give up that draft pick. Karis LeVert might be one of them trades to make it work. Stu, Woo. I mean, at that point, do you feel like is it enough? Is that enough? I feel like, defensively, do you keep Tobias? Do you say we can go marketing, Bam, Tobias, Cade, Duncan? I mean, Asar, Cade, because marketing give you a lot of shooting. So that's a question. Or you let Tobias walk? And especially in the Lauri marketing scenario in general, do you play them together? Personally, I think you can play them together. You have a strong lineup. You move Duncan to the bench. Duncan, Danis, Monk or Beasley, Stu. I think you're in a good position. I think you obviously get sign and trade during. You trade a few picks. You're gonna trade a lot of picks. The thing about it is getting both of them. That's the thing about it. Getting both. For Bam, I think at that point, if they getting rid of Tyler Hero, Miami might as well blow it up. And I feel like Pat should step down. But Pat Riley said he don't want to step down. But I feel like at that point, you could do a sign and trade. Miami can figure the deal out with Duran. You throw a pick in there, sign and trade. It's probably gonna be a little bit more. But also for Lauri, then what's left over? That's the question. What's left? You're not saying trading Asar. You're not trading Cade. So, I mean, at the end of the day, what's left over for Lauri to get the Lauri deal? So that's the problem with it. But I think Duran and Bam, you got to do something else. A pick this year. But then if you go with Lauri, you want to get Lauri too. That's the question. But it's a lot of free agents this year they can get. You don't necessarily have. I think Bam a good fit. I think it's a good fit. Can you find somebody to come in and be a good four for you? Because Trey Murphy they gonna tax for Trey Murphy too. So yeah, it's an interesting scenario, man. But if they get Bam, that's a good look. But I say if you get Bam and you want to bring back Tobias Harris, that's fine at the 4. But it got to be an upgrade in that backcourt. So whether it's going to get Kyrie, which I don't think Kyrie should be that expensive coming off a knee injury. That's I think that's a risk. But I ain't giving up a bunch. I don't think nobody giving a bunch for Kyrie. I think Zach LaVine, you can have him for the free. DeMar DeRozan, you can get him for the frisky. Malik Monk might cost a little bit, but adding that next punch, that's going to be easy. I think Beasley might come back. You say Beasley, if I lose to some of these guys, I can bring Beasley off the bench. But I think in general, you probably can get by with Tobias. In general, Duran probably coming back. The 2 upgrades, if you get Beasley back, that alleviates some pain. But now, you looking for somebody in the backcourt that can shoot and score. And I think the obvious thing for them would be a guy like Kyrie. But in general, Donovan Mitchell, I know he don't get along with JB, but he may be available. I think that's overkill. I think Kyrie, but Bam Adebayo would be a good look. If you could swing Bam and get a Kyrie, I think that they're in a good position or somebody like that. But hey, man, let me know what y'all think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Hit the link in the description. Follow me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Peace. Just subscribe, share the video. I appreciate y'all. Peace.